Well, welcome back, people. This is quite a sad post for me because it's the ultimate last bastion of our road trip. See my dog there trying to get in on the action. The Road Trip USA on our final ever fossil fuel road trip, may I add, in April of this year. There's a playlist out there now, and some of you would have seen it. If it don't interest you, sorry. If it does, go see. It's a bit of an eye-opener if you want to do Route 66 across the top of Arizona and into California and New Mexico. We missed so much out, and this is why at the end of this video and these last few bits I want to put, you will see that I do a Q&A of some of the questions that I've been asked on emails and on messages and everything else. What we missed, what we did wrong, what we did right, and whatever. There's about 10 decent questions that I've been asked, and I'm going to put answers to them, and then that might be interesting to some who are going to do it anyway. So yeah, pretty sad for me to do this one because the memories of that road trip for 16 days for all four of us was excellent. And if you've not done it yet, I would suggest start saving, make it a bucket list thing. And if you like anything to do with cars, and it don't have to be old, it can be EVs, modern EVs, because we did come across some, as you'll see if you watch that playlist, and plenty of charges and everything else. Just go and do it. It's such a wonderful experience, and we are going back next year to do Chicago and go the other way over to Texas, so look out for that one. And that will be done in a 100% electric car, as I've mentioned before on this channel. So these last final bits, hope you enjoy them. It's just about the last 2 days we had in Phoenix and how we got back, and then there's a Q&A at the end, so enjoy. Very sadly, we had to leave Tombstone, back up to Benson, up on the 80 and then across to Tucson, back on the I-10 and away we went. We didn't stop at Tucson. We had better things to do, to be fair. We were getting a bit hungry. We stopped at Casa Grande. I had noted there was a Cracker Barrel on the way, so we stopped. We've come off the I-10 for a break. I've just driven another 80 mile. So we're going to be going into Cracker Barrel. First time we've done it since we came here. So we'll dive in and get some chicken and some mash and whatever. Bit of cloud in the sky today, trailways as you call them, but it's still a good, I would guess it's 80 today. Virtually zero wind, well, a bit of wind, but not a lot. And this is inside a Cracker Barrel. Very nice. This place always pleases. We all had something different and we all enjoyed it and finished with empty plates. Good on you, Cracker Barrel. We will be there again soon. Oh, cornbread. It's great. It's fine. That was roadkill. After a great meal at Cracker Barrel, as it always is, it was up to the Phoenix Premium Outlets to get some Skechers. Okay, again, we made a stop before Phoenix at the Premium Outlets, just off I-10. There's everything here, all the big names, some small. We're hoping for a Skechers shop that's got some deals on their new slip-on Skechers, which are £90 in the UK. So we're trying to do a deal. See what we can get them for and how much. If there's one thing the Americans are good at, and that is shopping malls and outside precincts, just like this one was, outside of Phoenix. There's another one as well, not far from this one, again, around the Phoenix area, but they do them well. I've had to talk over this because music was playing in the background. Right, where are we now? Blimey, there's so much here, it's unreal. No idea. That way, that way, that way. Gonna look at the map. We decided to stay at the Sleep Inn, just off the I-17. Obvious reasons, around 30-minute to 40-minute drive was the airport. With only a 2-star rating, I was a bit dubious about this hotel, but I was well surprised. It was one of the better ones we stayed in. Full breakfast every day as well. Weather was looking superb. So it was fast food, KFC. Finally in KFC for a pot pie on the menu at the top there. The wait of about 15 minutes for the pot pies, we decided to get some nuggets. KFC, you've got to get these to England. Simple as that. When the pot pies came, big thumbs up. We knew we were going to enjoy these things. I've had them many times. Again, UK, get them over. Okay, been to KFC, come out, and this is what we've been in for. Pot pies. These are a good 6-inch, I would say, wide. 5 at least. Full of plenty of stuff in there, look. So yeah, we all had one to try. We all definitely say they should sell them in the UK. Fries a little different than our UK ones as well, look, from KFC. In my opinion, better. A bit greasier, but better. Yeah. There you go. With a hot day around the pool, we decided we need a pitcher of beer. So we found the local, Bailey's. Bartender's birthday, so free cake all around. Well, we're out here on a, I would guess, around 82 degrees today, something of that nature. And all we are is just hanging around the said pool. Got it all to ourselves. And this, of course, turn it on just around the corner. Let it percolate before I get in with my white knees. But it's a bit too warm in there, to be honest, today, having the warm sunshine. So it'll be in there towards tea time as it gets dark, when it's all lit up. And there is nobody else here at all apart from us. Sun is out, bit of cloud, not a lot. So yeah, really nice hotel. A few bits in the room which I'll show you later, which tiny bit let it down, but to have this all to ourselves, how can that be bad? And I know you guys have got 4 days of rain and cloud and everything else at the moment, so I'm happy bunny. So just chilling. Last morning tomorrow. Well, here we are, the final room. Excuse the mess because we are starting to pack up to head out. But anyway, 1 bed, 2 bed, lots of lamps and whatever, and they're actually parallel and nice for a change. In here, you've got the normal mirror job and the sink, and then the John, whatever you want to call it. Now this is a letdown, although this is a relatively decent looking shower here. Look, it's worn to hell all the way around the enamel, and then when you bring it back and shut this door, this is what lets this room down a bit. It's just a bit ropey. Look, have a close look at the disgusting silicone and the way the seals are. And overall, it's a very clean room with plenty of space, so can't knock it. Wall lights as well. Telly's a decent size. So yeah, overall, not bad. Definitely not the worst. Definitely a lot better than Tombstone. So that's your final room. Suitcases for tomorrow. Not a happy bunny. Hey ho. Well, here we are at the airport. Now waiting to catch a flight back to Heathrow. Been a real busy that about? Saving fuel? What was I saying? Something like save fuel. AP off. Oh, okay, whatever. Yeah, this is it. Very easy airport to get in and out of. Very easy to get rid of the rental unit. And we came back in straight into Alamo. 3,145 miles in total over the 15 days, and they used tricycles, as you can see across there. I just missed them. Oh, they're gone. So yeah, back home. Homeward bound to Heathrow. 4.5 hours now sitting around doing nothing. Not much to choose from food-wise here. There's breakfast thing and whatever. Sweet Republic, Peter Jungle, Wendy's, which we have had. Small electrical shop there, and that's really about it once you're in the gates here at Sky Harbour in Phoenix. Not a lot to see. So yeah, like I say, just 4 hours of sitting around and waiting for things to happen.
This is a page for Qatar Milforsan. Qatar Milforsan. If you hear this announcement, please make your way down to gate B27 podium immediately.
Well, we are about to say goodbye to Phoenix, Arizona. Possibly be back at some time. That is not our plane. Ours is on the gate B23 opposite me. There's a SkyWest plane there as well. So yeah, it's been a good 15-day road trip, and it's a shame it's come to an end.
Aaron Wright returned to.
We have chicken and some eggs, cod some sort. What cod roe or something you got there? Rather you than me, kid. I'm having pasta, bit of cheese roll, bit of yucky salad, and a water. And then what these are having behind. Okay, a quick final story to this flight back. The air hostess on this flight, or one of them should I say, had a bit of an attitude. We got up to stretch his legs and stand near the toilet area. No one wanted to get in and out. We weren't bothering anybody. And she accused us of loitering. What? Loitering on an aircraft, would you believe? But they always tell you to get up and stretch your legs, etc. Oh man, I will never forget that lady. I would say it has to be not allowing enough time to do what we wanted to do. There were things that we threw in there that I didn't even plan for, but overall, not enough time. I wish I'd have done it now over a 21-day period. We made exactly the same mistake in 2019, 2020 when we went and did the road trip around the southern states. And when we go back next year, I'm going to allow more time, because there were things that we missed. And I look back now and think, oh, we should have done that, we should have gone there, we should have had this, we should have eaten there, and just so much. Because we had such a brilliant time, it wasn't seen as a mistake then, but now I'm back here and I've edited all these things and done all this. Please allow yourself enough time. That's probably what I would class as our worst mistake. Did we spend more than we was going to? Yeah, I think we all do. I think the trinkets and the gifts and everything else, and the food was more expensive this time than last time. So yes, we did spend more money than we thought we were going to. Don't be put off by that. Just budget that tiny bit more. And if you come back with it in your pocket, you can always get your dollars changed back. Although we only took a limited amount of US dollars in actual cash. I remember rightly, I think we took $400 between the two of us, and so did my sister and brother-in-law. So, and you don't need any more than that, trust me. That was just for tipping and everything else. And that odd time you wanted cash. But even in America now, everything is going over to more of a cashless society. Although saying that, some of the bars had notes on the doors saying we take cash only. and if you used a card, they charge you an extra 1.5%. So be very wary of that. So did we take enough cash? Yes, we did, but we did spend more than we thought we was going to. The Grand Canyon has to be on, everyone's bucket list if you want to see a big hole in the ground, but it's far more than that big hole in the ground. If you watch my videos, you'd have seen a young girl commenting, a very young girl commenting on, it's just a hole in the ground, but that was quite funny. But no, the Grand Canyon and all of Route 66, so there were certain parts of Route 66 were a bit disappointing, others made up for it fourfold. Kingman was probably one of the best areas of Route 66, and Williams. We didn't investigate too much in other areas, and we should have done. Again, it was a time constraint. So yes, the Grand Canyon for definite was a highlight for me, and the drive up there, although we didn't go on the train, so that was probably a downer. But we did save $130 each, so we spent it on other things. So Grand Canyon and most of Route 66 got to be the highlight of what we did. Okay, someone asked what I thought Venice Beach was like, how good it was, why did I go? Venice Beach 30 years ago was the place to be seen. Now Santa Monica Pier and Santa Monica Beach seems to be the better place. There is less grime and crime in Santa Monica Pier and Beach than you'll find down in Venice. Go and look at the statistics. Venice Beach has the arty people, it has the out there people, it has the people who are very much specialist in something they do. They're great skaters, they're weird artists, they sell out there stuff, they dress very flamboyant and a bit different. Whereas Santa Monica Beach and Pier, it's a bit more, let's call, I don't know if to say this, normal, if that's the word to use. Did I ever feel that I shouldn't be there, i.e. frightened to be there, or felt crime in my face and everything else? Luckily, no. It was an afternoon, 2 hours or thereabouts, an hour should I say, that we were there. The skating was very busy. They were playing basketball, and we didn't get quite as far down to see where Arnold used to work out at the gym. No, I've been there and I've done it, and I wouldn't go back. I only went there for one reason, and that main reason was to meet the GIV, the German in Venice, because he got me into Venice Beach and the homeless side of it. And he's made some good videos in the past. Not doing them now because they cleared all the homeless out of Venice Beach. I think the last 2 years has been pretty bad because it's had all its homeless encampments down there, and it took a while to clear them out and get rid of them. And even now, every single morning they have to go out and clear the toilets out of vagrants and homeless people who are using the toilets to basically live in. We enjoyed ourselves when we were there. We didn't see any problems. We didn't see any drugs. You can smell drugs. The reefer, everywhere you go down, all the way down Venice. So if you want to go down there, I'm not going to put you off. Go down, have a walk down. You're safe enough. There's plenty of police around and everything else. But if you want that bit more upmarket place with better restaurants and better eateries and just a better vibe and not so in your face, then Santa Monica is where you need to be. And it's a good 30-minute walk from one to the other at a stroll pace. So there you go, that's Venice Beach. And would I go back? No, been there, done it. So, there was more to see in LA than Venice Beach. The hotel scenario thing and how I did it, because this one's, would you pre-book your hotels before you went? No. The first night, yes, because you're going to have a target to go to on that first night. If you don't get delayed at the airport, you can set a target for one hotel. Just make sure that first night is booked, because you're going to be a bit knackered. So make it to a hotel, get your stuff out, get sorted, have a good night's kip, and then get on with your journey. After that, I wouldn't pre-book any, because you never know where you're going to be on these road trips. What we used to do, and what I still do now, is use hotels.com or booking.com or whatever. And then as you sit down in McDonald's, you sit down at the restaurant at lunchtime, you go, oh, where are we stopping tonight? And okay, well, let's head for there. It's 60 miles away, and look, there's a great hotel here, blah, blah, blah. Book it on the app, you're done. My advice on hotels in the US, don't go and use Hotel 6s. unless you are really struggling to get somewhere, because they are the lowest section of the hotel business. Hotel 6, Super 6 or whatever. Super 8's okay by Wyndham, they're not too bad. But don't go into Hotel 6s. I've had nothing but bad vibes and whatever. And they're very low class hotels, and they're cheap, but no, I vowed I'd never stay in another one. So try and keep out the 6s, go to Super 8s upwards. Average price of a room now, where you'll get 2 double beds, your own ensuite, mini fridge, big mirror, TV, as all my videos have shown you, averaging between £60 to £80, depending on where you are and where you book. So that's how we did hotels, and that's how we'll do it again if we go back again. Bit of a weird question this. This came from a comment. Are there any areas that you wish you'd avoided? If that question means one of two things, either was it rough and a bit, nervy, bit you shouldn't have been there, or was it you got there and you found it was rubbish and not as good? Places I would have avoided? No, not really. It doesn't bother me to go anywhere in the US. I've been to some quite rough areas over many, many years. Some that are very not tourist areas, totally un-tourist areas. But I've still been very happy to drive down there and make sure my doors are locked and my windows are up, etc. In some sketchy areas. But it's never bothered me. So no, on this trip, I don't think there's anywhere that I would have avoided. If the question means that, if it's a bit sketchy in the area and a bit crimey. If it means where we went and we wish we hadn't, that's a big one. That's a hard one, because I don't think there is anywhere that we actually went and gone, oh God, this is a waste of time. What did we come here for? It's the same with all the hotels. We felt very lucky with all the hotels, and there's none that I would say that I would avoid. I'd probably go back to them all, apart from one, and that was one in Tombstone. Check that video out if you've not watched my Tombstone videos. And there's 2 connected to Tombstone, and we do show you the hotel room, and it wasn't great. But it weren't the cheapest by any means as well. It was one of the pricier ones. Everywhere you go in the world, there's always rough areas. Everywhere you go in the world, there's always sketchy crime areas. Just use your common sense. That's all I would say. Use your common sense. So no is the answer. Okay, good question. This one is car rental. Which would I recommend? We've done thousands and thousands of miles from all over the USA in many, many states over the years, over the decades. I've always found all of the rental car game to be quite good, quite professional in the US. But we have bounded down on more than the 2 most used are Alamo and Hertz. Alamo more than anybody else. Hertz would have been the one I would have gone to if I could have got a Tesla Model Y, or definitely a Model X with the gull-wing doors. We didn't because of other things, and again, it's on this channel why we didn't do that, so I won't rant about that. So I'm going to say Alamo first, and then Hertz, and then Dollar. We've used Dollar quite a few times. It all depends what kind of vehicle you're after. Just do your homework, use the one that's got the easiest access in and out near a airport if you're going to pick it up and bring it back, because that's a big thing. When you want to get out and on your way, there's nothing worse than having to travel 10 miles down the road to go and pick your rental car up. So just be careful of that one. And again, make sure you get a vehicle with enough space. Remember, if there's 4 of you, you're taking 4 suitcases, 4 hand luggage, all the gifts you're going to buy, all the garbage you're going to have. So if there is 4 of you and you want that extra space, do what we did. At this moment you can't get an electric one, but at the moment, get yourself a minivan, a mini people carrier. And then you've got all the extra space in the back. You need to put the seats down that you're not using for all extra space. And they're normally all blacked off windows as well, so no one can see your stuff. So that's my quick bit of advice. And also on this one, before I go, please, please, please make sure you get full CDW, return it in a box, they eyes your car back, and they can't charge you for anything. Get full coverage, and I mean full coverage. Some people are paying or being charged between $11 to $16 a day now for CDW. Well, a little tip here for you. Costco, if you're a member of Costco, they do a great deal. I paid around £1,200 for the 15/16 day car hire, but that included everything. I could have took that back in a big square metal box and gone, here's your people carrier, here's your Chrysler minivan, and I wouldn't have been charged a dime. So just be careful of that one. But yeah, Stick to the main three. Bit of a weird one this, restaurants on a budget. Well, if you're going to the States on a budget, be wary, because food prices, I've quoted in this video, have gone up tremendously, just the same as they have here. We noted at least a 20% rise in all the food prices in restaurants. And you've got your tipping thing as well. If you sit down at a restaurant table and a waitress comes across, or a waiter, expect to tip. That will be on top of your normal pay and state taxes. So what might read $12.95 is going to end up costing you around $16 to $17 by the time you've tipped and your state taxes have gone on. Be careful of those. But ones that stick out straight away are value for money has got to be Golden Corral. Okay, check them out before you go. Golden Corral do a lunchtime and evening buffet. Weekends it's slightly more, but during the week you can get an all-you-can-eat buffet for around $10 to $12. Sometimes that even includes a drink. It did with one of ours. Their buffets are not top quality food, but my God, are they worth every penny. Some of the food is brilliant. Others are, you can pick and choose. You know, you'll find out what you like and what you don't like. And you can fill yourself up stupid that one meal a day, and you probably won't want anything later on in the day or at night time. Or if you have no breakfast, just wait until lunchtime and have a big meal with the Golden Corral. The others, I'd say, there was one time when I said keep out of KFCs in America, but they've changed slightly since we last went. They've got a bit better again, and they have some stuff on there, which again I've mentioned in this video, so try KFC if you want a quick in and out job. They're about on par price with ours. Applebee's is a bit more upmarket, but their food is very good. Miller's Ale Houses, if you come across one, not cheap, but good quality food, and you get plenty of it. I'm going to stop it there, because that's really, if you go much higher than that, you know, it can start to get a bit pricey. There's one other, which again is on this video, which we went to. We finished it was our last American meal really, to a point, apart from the KFC. And that was Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel is beautiful, big piece of chicken, mash. It's very southern home cooking. And I can relate to that a lot because I like that kind of food. And do try their cornbread, it's beautiful. And you'll get that in with your meal. And they average around between 11 to 14 bucks per person, depending on what you have. So that's Cracker Barrel. So they're the restaurants I would recommend. And keep to them, you'll be fine. Well, don't forget, there's always Yuckdonald's, but no, we don't bother when we're in the States. What's the bloody point? But there you go. Where would I go back to if I could? Everywhere I missed. I would go back to Arizona for another 2-week vacation, and I would go to the places that we didn't have time for. And I'm not going to mention them all here because there just isn't time to do that. But we only seen, I would say, 50% of Arizona. We didn't do a lot of hiking or whatever because the people we went with didn't have that in their body strength. So we didn't hike anywhere or do any mountains or whatever, or trails or whatever. And that Arizona is full of them. So if you're a bit on the fit side and you're a bit younger than most folk like me, yeah, you'd enjoy the trails in Arizona. And there's lots of other places where you don't need to walk, but we missed out on a lot. So Arizona, the state of, I would go back to 101%. Would I go back to California? Oh, wow, that's a big one. I probably would, but I wouldn't go anywhere near LA or San Francisco. I'd leave them. I would find somewhere else, but I would go back to California just to fill in the places that we didn't do. Would I go back to Nevada? Yeah, I'd go back to Nevada. I'd go to Area 51 that we didn't have time to do. And I'd go back to Vegas for another couple of nights. You know, so I wouldn't say no to Vegas. That's really it on that one. So yeah, Arizona is the big one for us. Arizona. So we'd definitely go back. Okay, I don't know if this question has come from somebody who's got an ICE car and is a bit doubtful on what I say, or it's come from a genuine EV owner who wants to know if this is correct. And, you know, can you do most of the states now, in especially around the tourist areas, in an electric car? And I'm going to say yes. Yes. There might be the odd place which could be 300 miles up a mountain somewhere in the back arse of Nevada where there's no chargers. But if you've got a car that does 300 to 350 mile range, you do it. But most, if not 80% of wherever you go in the US now, all the tourist areas have got chargers. I made a point of looking for these everywhere I went, and I was amazed and surprised how many were not being used, just laying there dormant and empty. And a lot of them were more than 50 kilowatt. They were like, 125 plus. So you've got the speed there as well. So I'd say yes, 100%. You could do anywhere in America now, within reason, in a full EV. You don't need a hybrid. You don't need a big gas guzzling car. If you've got this thing about going to do it in a Mustang or whatever, it's got to be a V8 and all that, best of luck, because fuel, in California, it was over $6 a gallon. In Arizona, it averaged around $3.50 to $4. Some was $4.20. Nevada was about the same. And then when we went into New Mexico, again, around the $4. It sounds cheap, but when you're doing 3,000 to 4,000 mile, it adds up. In a Tesla, it will be 50% off. Just saying. In any EV, yes, you've got to stop and charge for 30 minutes here and 45 minutes there and 10 minutes there. But you do that when you want to stop for a coffee, a rest, or go and visit some shops. You use your common sense. And Tesla superchargers are at all big places. In fact, we found them in some places right off the tourist trap. We'd find a row of 20 Tesla, what they're doing here, 20 Tesla superchargers. So yes, you could do it in a full EV and do it. Save some money and stop polluting out that exhaust. Okay, I'm going to bring this to an end. If anyone else has got any questions, comments or whatever they want to drop, please do at the end of this video or any of the videos and posts about this whole road trip. There's quite a few to watch now. Don't hesitate, drop me a comment, ask me a question. I'll always answer it if I see it come up. I'm going to say a big thumbs up and thank you to all my new subscribers. I've picked up an amazing 170 subscribers in 2 weeks. The channel is booming and thank you so much if you've already subscribed. I knew that you'd stay with me and I bless you for that. So I'm going to wrap this one up now and say I'm done with all the road trip videos for a while. Back to what I normally do now, and that's our adventures in the UK with our electric cars. Coming up is my wife's new little red car I've got to do a review on. Oh, and by the way, I've got some new information coming up on some chargers as well. An update coming soon. So stay with us, thank you for watching. I'm just about done. Go and do that road trip. Put it on your bucket list. You'll love it. Might even see you there next year. See ya.